Good morning, second grade mathematicians. Ms. Moss here. Happy Monday. I'm glad you're here to do some math with me. And today, before we get started, I want to always remind you, as I do, that you are part of NV Pride. You can do hard things. You can learn from your mistakes. In fact, they help your brain muscles stretch and grow. And I wanted to add one more new one to our growth mindset and the power of how we do hard things. And that is with a new word called effort. Today, I want you to put forth your best effort. This one says, my effort is most important. And effort just means that you are going to do your very best at your math work today. Okay? I know you can do it. I believe in you. All right, friends, we are going to start with our learning target because it's important to know what we're studying and why we're studying it. You can read it with me. It's a familiar one. I am learning to understand place value. And you might be thinking, why do we spend so much time thinking and working on place value? Because we've sure spent a lot of our second grade year together learning about our number system and how it works with place value. Well, kiddos, the reason why we spend so much time learning it is because it is so important in everything that we do in our number system, okay? By now, you know that the digits make up the numbers, right? You can have a 1-digit number, a 2-digit number, a 3-digit number, and in fact, we could count all the way to a 4-digit number and beyond. For our work today, I want to show you, we're looking at this paper, right? It says different ways to look at the very same number. We are used to looking at numbers and we're used to thinking about them with our place value picture, right? We have 100 plus 20 plus 1 is the same as a 3-digit number, 121. I brought some math tools with me today that I hope are familiar to you because as you're doing this work at home today, I know you don't have the blocks at your house, but I want your brain to go, oh yeah, I remember those from when we were in the classroom. And those are the place value blocks that match how we do our place value picture. So today, we're going to be using our 100 block, our 10 blocks that look like this, remember those? And our itty bitty ones that I'm holding in my hands that look like this. When I turn my camera, you'll be able to see them better, but they look just like that. So if I was going to build that number, 121 that I just showed you, I would have 100 mat. I would have 2 10 sticks, and I would have 121. So if I held up my 21 here and my 100 here, see if I can fit all 3 things in there, I would have that number 121. But guess what? That's not the only way I could build with my mat this number. And we're going to look a little bit deeper to see if you can think about different ways to show that number with hundreds, with tens, and also with ones. All right, kiddos, we're back and there's our learning target again. I am learning to understand place value. And remember, today we're going to be thinking about using these place value blocks that we used in our classroom. On your activity sheet, you'll see that there's little mini pictures next to your job so that you can kind of be thinking about these place value blocks that we've been using. You're going to use the pictures to help you solve the story. So Sarah was building some things and it looks like she built 300 with her mats. So if I was going to use the hundreds mats, how many of those would I need? How many hundreds? And then the next one says, well, what if Sarah didn't want to use the mats? She was going to just count with the 10 sticks. How many 10 strips would she need to make 300? And then at the bottom, this very fun activity. And I want to say
if she was going to trade in all of the strips for itty-bitty units of 1, like this one here, how many would she need to make her number of 300? My goodness, that's going to be an awful lot of itty-bitty ones, isn't it? Down here on number 2, I want to draw your attention to this one because I'm going to give you a little tip on how to do this to make sure your work is really organized for your teacher. So your job here is, it says, to make sure there are really 300 in this picture. And the way you're going to do that is by making loops and groups. I want to show you how I might do that. I'm going to start up in the corner, and with my red colored pencil, I'm going to color 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then I'm going to circle it. And now I know that that's 10. Now I'm going to switch my color, and I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that I can see I have 2 groups, I'm going to switch my color again, just so I don't lose track of what I've counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now I have a 3rd group. So I bet you've already figured out that if I were to go back and label these numbers, it would be 10, 20, 30. And I would keep going all the way until I was done. Remember, you're trying to be thinking about place value as you're doing this. What would be most efficient? That's another thing we talk about as a mathematician too. So kind of keep that on your brain as well. I'm now going to flip it over to the back. I'm going to move my place value mats out of the way. And really quickly, I'm going to use the example here to kind of walk you through what they're asking you to do in the rest of the activity. They're going to ask you, in a certain number, how many ones there are, how many tens there are, and then finally, they're going to ask you how many hundreds there are. And if I look here, it's the same number each time. 200, 210, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And in fact, I think I'm going to start this way. Hundreds, tens, and I'll put my ones on the bottom. Okay, so now, if I'm wondering how many hundreds are in this number, I know that the number is 280. And in this, there is a 100 mat, and this is another 100 mat. So in the number 280, there are 2 hundreds. There is 80 additional tens, but I would still need 2 more 10 sticks in order to get another 100, to get that 3rd 100. So in this number, 280, I have 2 hundreds. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. On 280, when you are looking at this number and thinking about how many 10 sticks it would take, now we're talking about this tool. Well, hiding inside each of these, this would be 10 tens, and this would have 10 tens, right? And each one of these is a 10, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tens. So I have 8 tens here. So now if I'm just adding up the tens, well, I have 10 plus 10 plus 8. The 2 tens would make 20, and then I would have 8 more tens, so I would have a total of 28 10 sticks in the number 280. And finally, when I am looking here at the number in terms of ones, I could do similar. This has 100. This has 100 ones. And in each one of these 10 sticks, there would be 10, right? There'd be 10 tiny little 1 sticks. And so if I'm thinking about how many teeny tiny little 1s I would have in the number 280, I would need 280 1s to build the number 280. So boys and girls, as you are learning to understand place value in your activity today, really try to think about our place value models to help guide your work.
I'm back real quick just to say goodbye. I wanted to check in real quick with your growth mindset. Did you put forth today your very best effort in everything that you did with your math work? Don't forget that you figured out how to use our place value blocks to understand place value. Your activity sheet today is you are going to first look for the ways to make 300, and then on the back you're going to be thinking about our place value mats and practicing and trying it on with a couple more numbers. Off you go, mathematicians. Way to stretch your math muscles today, and I can't wait to see you next time for another fun math activity.